Hey guys, I'm going to start recording some videos every now and again when I have some thing interesting I think I have to talk about. And this morning I was thinking about doing hard things and getting smarter, and being in a better position as a result. I've realized that in my life, had I not pushed myself, to near death, actually, I would not have been able to learn what I've learned, and I wouldn't be as successful as I am because I would still probably be in California. And even before that, I'd worked 100-hour weeks for years to be able to even afford to start a business and leave the country, based upon an online income. Um, but even that failed on me, right? And so I ended up nearly starving in Thailand when I moved over here, because my Amazon FBA business failed. There were a bunch of different things going on, and then plus I failed my business too. So I got to take at least most of the credit for that. But had I not gone through that, had I not lost everything, I was down to below $1, right? And had I not done that, I would not have learned the skills necessary to do what I do now, which I build websites for high-profile people. I've ghostwritten some books. I've written a couple of my own books, and also I do some SEO for people and things. It depends on the brand basically, and if I want to help them, and if it's going to be economically viable for everyone involved. And so that's what I've been doing. And looking at now starting a podcast, I have an interesting partner at that, and I think that we will be able to be having some really interesting guests, and it'll be really cool. And one of the main things that I want to focus on too is talking to real people. I want it to be about real life. It's like the real life podcast. And I'm talking to interesting people, whether they be famous or not. I think that oftentimes, just regular people living their lives have some of the most interesting stories to tell, frankly. And so I want to be doing that. But the moral of today's talk is to do difficult things and put yourself through challenging situations. Like, if you see the opportunity, go for it. Don't be afraid that you're not going to be able to stack up to it. I think that a relevant example would be Elon Musk. He puts himself in these impossible situations, and where it's like live or die for him, right? So he's sleeping on the floor of the factory, all this. And, actually, I can kind of identify with that. While I was building my business, this last business, not the previous one or the ones before that, but as I was building this last one, I found myself sleeping on a concrete floor in my office several nights, just to focus. Get up, I'd work, and then I'd sleep, and then I'd work, and then I'd sleep, and then the power would go out, and so I'm working on my laptop's battery and my cell phone wireless connection, at that point. And I'm working, and I had to go through that. But during that process, I learned so much. I learned what works, what doesn't work. I learned so much about myself, and I learned what's possible for me, like going without eating, going without sleeping. It's like, oh my God, and I'm not suggesting this. I know that this is not healthy behavior, but sometimes it's necessary behavior, depending on how you find the situation that you find yourself in. And so I placed myself in a very difficult situation. I should have really locked down my Amazon FBA business before leaving the States, but I didn't. And and I had my money in crypto, and a bunch of different stuff happened back in 2017. And but since then, I'm now doing better than I ever have in my life, and that would not have happened had I not put myself in a difficult situation, starved, literally. I'm like, well, I guess I'm fasting today because I don't have any money to buy food, right? And I remember having this street vendor that's making probably, I mean, he might be making $10, that day, but he was giving me free bananas, and I went back and hooked him up quite well once my money started coming in again. But anyway, difficult things. If there's a difficult thing that you're avoiding, don't avoid it any longer. Go for it. It's going to make you stronger, it's going to make you smarter, and it's going to make you more successful in the long run, even if there's pain at first. And but I can tell you that the pain was worth it. And, it hurt my pride a lot because I had become someone, I was used to a certain type of lifestyle. I was used to, having a certain income. And I guess, like, back in California, I'd kind of linked my identity to that a little bit. And so it really hurt my pride to not have that anymore. And but in the long run, it's been really useful, and I have evolved a lot from it. And I think that if you have something in front of you that might be a little daunting, go for it. Go for it. Especially if you have a family to help you and be there for you. I say go for it. And if you're just alone like I was, go for it. And don't give up. Don't give up. I wanted to give up several times, but I had to tell myself, don't give up. I know that I can get through this. I spent all this time, going through all the military training. I spent my entire life doing difficult things. I'm like, this little thing, so what if I just went broke in a foreign country? If I can get through this, I can get through anything. All right. So anyway, hope that this has been informative. I appreciate you following me, and let me know if you have any questions below, or if you have any other topics you want me to talk about. Again, this has been Jared Cook, and I'll talk to you next time.